So I finally got around to watching Interview with a Vampire season 1 and 2 on Netflix. And honestly, I think it's an incredible story. And honestly, a drama and a love story that goes beyond just gay vampires. Because I know a lot of people would just go ahead and just relegate that to what this series is. It's a lot more than that, right? And if you are uncomfortable with homosexual relations, it's not for you, because there is a fair bit of sex between men and kissing and all that. But if you are uncomfortable with that, again, this series isn't for you. Now, if you don't care, don't mind it, or God forbid, love this sort of thing, right? This series is for you, because what makes me enjoy the show so much isn't just the story and twists and turns, but also the characters as well, because they actually do carry this amazing story. I'll be getting into spoilers for this review, so be warned. And yeah, the story for the series, I did a little bit of research on it. And Louis isn't a plantation owner, but a black man from a family that's well off. That is pretty much, Louis is in charge of the ghetto and its girls and its whorehouse and bar. And this is where he gets the attention of Lestat, a vampire from the old world. Eventually, Lestat gets closer to Louis, guiding him, befriending him, becoming the lover he didn't know he wanted, only for Louis to be scared of this sin, turn him away, and not try to focus on Lestat and how he feels, right? Eventually, when his brother would kill himself, his family turns from him and life beats his fucking ass. He goes to a church to relay his sins to a priest, just for Lestat to show up and kill the priest, punch a hole through another priest's head, which is fucking crazy, and express his love and wanting for Louis to be his companion forever. And he does. And Louis becomes a vampire, and he does vow to love Lestat. Only for him to reject the vampire way and, in turn, reject a certain life with Lestat. And he thinks he can eat his cake and have it too, which is fucking insane. Which causes the destruction of his relationship with his family, plus the ever-growing racial tension in the area, causing hard times on his business, and really hard for him to keep a clear head, especially since he doesn't want to fucking kill people. He just eats animals or like drains animals, so he's not really in the best state, honestly, right? Now, we also get his relationship with Lestat getting tested, as Louis isn't really accepting Lestat and the vampire way of life. So Lestat is getting upset with him for being a fucking asshole, right? Eventually, Louis thinks he can just kill one of the most powerful white men in the town, and plop him on a fucking gate as a fucking warning to stop being fucking assholes. And of course, in the late 1800s, maybe early 1900s, a lot of the white people didn't take too kindly to this, of course, and start burning the shit out of all the buildings in the black part of town. Louis, seeing all this, is pretty distraught, and then he gets so shaken up that he saves a young girl and begs Lestat to turn her into a vampire. And when she wakes up, she has two new dads, Louis and Lestat, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's, man, she's going to be in for quite a life, Claudia. Yep. Keep in mind, we're being told this story fashioned with an older guy interviewing Louis, who knows he's a vampire because he has tried this interview before in the 70s. It didn't really go according to the plan, but we'll get to that. But yeah, they do go ahead and go on to this interview from when Louis was before a vampire to a lot of the more current state of events ish, right? Till about season 2, where things just get fucking crazy, right? Keep in mind, this is a story mainly on Louis, but it does have aspects of Claudia and Lestat in it as well. So back to Louis' story, it basically just kind of follows Claudia, a young vampire who they are taken care of, who is learning how to hunt, learning how to enjoy the vices of life from Louis, learning how to be a vampire from Lestat, until her aging mind and body wants to be more than just a child and treated like a child. And, she can't have that because of her body, honestly. And She was the glue that kept Lestat and Louis' relationship together, but when she leaves, they begin to fucking hate on each other and fight each other. It's fucking insane. It's pretty goddamn toxic. Like, most of the series highlights the relationship between the two, and it's fucking toxic as hell. But you also see like the good parts, the glowing moments that they both stay with each other for, which is neat, I guess, right? But story wise, it's just. And while Claudia is finding herself, Lestat and Louis live in total resentment and frustration against each other. When Claudia does come back after some tragedy hits her, she wants to take Louis away from Lestat, who she believes holds Louis back from truly living a life, right? This is where Louis and Lestat fight and beat the fuck out of each other. With Claudia following the chaos, Lestat would then take Louis into the sky and drop his ass into the townhouse, causing him to break all his bones, all this and that, leaving them. And Claudia helps Louis heal for a couple months while Lestat sends gifts and letters saying sorry and this and that. A very common Lestat / toxic relationship situation, trying to mend things, right? Especially after out. Eventually, Lestat does enter back into the fold with some decent rules made by Louis and Claudia to help maintain the family. But with Claudia trying to leave said family at some point, and Lestat not wanting anyone to leave or grow apart, they again are under his thumb and plan to kill him, which kind of works on Mardi Gras, right? They poisoned him, did not kill him, because Louis insisted on it for some reason, killed his female lover, who he turned into a vampire, and escaped to Europe, which is where season 2 starts, with him trying to find other vampires, and Claudia still fucking angry with Louis. Eventually, they did find themselves in Paris. They meet the vampires there, who have their own building theater, like for a vamp called Theater de Vampires, or some shit, right? Theater of the Vampires. And this is where they perform, and the last performance is a real person in distress, but because of the whole performance prior, they think it's all an act, right? And they go ahead and drink the blood of this person and devour this person in front of everybody, thinking it's part of the play, but it's not. And because of this trance, all the regular people are just sitting here like, well, that's cool, and then just go the fuck home after seeing someone actually get fucking killed on stage, which is fucking insane, right? Louis, who meets like one of the a pretty old vampire named what was his name? I forget his name, but leader of this coven. They soon become lovers, but buddies, whatever the fuck, right? It's a situation, and Claudia wants to join this coven and be around more vampires, only for them to add her in, but then make her a star in a new play that plays at her biggest insecurity, and that's her childlike body, playing a goofy child on stage and being goofy as hell and playing it up. And it's not really the best. It's not. It's pretty unfortunate, and Louis just did not like this at all. He did not like this play, so he'll be there to support her, but he knows that she's just dying inside anytime she does this performance. And she says as such, and she's forced to live as his character by the leader of the coven, because she did not appreciate the opportunity they are giving to her. So, yeah. Yeah. Louis would enjoy hobbies to the disdain of the other coven members. He's not even a member of the coven. They just don't really like him because they're taking their leader's attention away from the actual theater. And Louis would be more confident and powerful as he bends the coven leader backwards and forwards, of course. And the coven didn't like this at all as well. So they don't really like the coven's the synergy, the morale, everything about the coven is starting to basically drop down, and everyone is following the lead of another vampire, Santiago, who is a bitch of himself, a bitch for himself, right? He's just cringe. So after Claudia convinced Louis to turn a friend of hers into a vampire, they all get captured by the leader of this of the coven, Armand, who betrays them, and they all get put in a line and put in a performance, and Lestat returns to direct said performance, and everyone is shocked that Lestat is there. I can't speak, to the play and torture all of them, right? Which eventually has Claudia and her friend get killed, but Louis is spared but put in a coffin with rocks all surrounding him and stuck in said coffin for quite a while. You can tell Lestat, while this play is happening, I can't speak, while this play is happening, wasn't comfortable with a lot of this, at least to a certain extent. Like, he wanted to do it, but you can see it in his eyes that certain things he was not comfortable with, right? Louis would be eventually freed, kill, and burn the rest of the cult, return to Armand, and they will live happily ever after, right? No, the fuck they don't. No, they fuck they don't. It fucking turns out that the one who saved Louis was Lestat, and the one who directed the play in actuality was Armand himself, and he is the one who was given Louis because Lestat played the villain role because he had to, and Lestat was like, here, have Louis out at some point, but yeah, have him for a couple, decades or whatever. He'll return back to me. And also, pretty much is revealed is that it is very much suspected that Louis was just a horrible person to Lestat. It is definitely because during this whole trial, during everything in modern day, it is revealed that Louis was as horrible to Lestat as Lestat was to him. Maybe a little bit more in Lestat's ballpark than Louis, but Jesus Christ, like rejecting their way of lives, telling Lestat if he turns Claudia, he will love him forever and never leave, only to like try and leave later on, telling Lestat he never will love him and wants to kill, holds back from actually hurting him because Lestat loves him during like the townhouse brawl. It's fucking insane, right? Like the level of twist and how horrible Louis actually is, right? The show has truly shown every perspective of the relationship between Lestat and Louis and the world of vampires. In the world of vampires. And it's just a setting. The era of the world means nothing in the world of vampires because they'll just adjust here and there and just, live their lives, right? And similarly to how Armand has been manipulating Louis for years, taking credit for saving Louis, erasing his memories, tampering with the interviewer's memories too in the 70s, and making himself look good, making himself look good, like the good husband. Everything gets revealed at the end of season 2, where Armand directed the play, where Armand didn't really save Louis, where Armand basically was a fucking asshole to Louis when Louis tried to burn himself in the sun, teasing Lestat with trying to get them to talk in the 70s, going ahead and manipulating the interviewer. It's just crazy shit. And at some point Louis would find Lestat in New Orleans, living in a rundown fucking house, and they would talk for a bit before a hurricane would hit, and then this would leave us to wonder what will happen in season 3, which we kind of do, because it's going to be like the story, the interview with Lestat specifically. So that's going to be it. I can't wait to watch that one because this whole season 1 and season 2 of Interview with a Vampire with Louis was actually pretty fucking fun. It was a crazy ass ride watching it with my wife that we both enjoyed it. And, the dramatization of everything was just chef's kiss. It was just great to see how the memories of Louis weren't really like accurate, and seeing him in real time sort of like realize that he may not be remembering everything perfectly as he once thought at some point, right? I think the most interesting character is Lestat, and his relationship with Louis was interesting to witness due to the drama, toxicity, moments of genuine romanticism and love, as well. Like Louis also being a complex character, dealing with the loss of family, struggling with his humanity and what he needs to do now as a vampire, and being tied to Lestat is very interesting as well. Claudia being the third person, like kind of like the outsider perspective of Lestat and Louis' relationship is pretty fun too, seeing her struggle with her body, her choices, finding who she wants to be while also wanting to be more than just a vampire, making her a more interesting character as well. Complements Louis and Lestat as well in terms of their character aspects too. It's really fun, these characters and how they push the story for Interview with a Vampire. Personally, I think it's an interesting show, and it's great television, along with a great story and characters. For the most part, these characters are complex and interesting. I wholeheartedly recommend this show. But if, again, you're uncomfortable with a lot of like the queer aspects of the show, I don't suggest it. But if you don't mind it, I do go ahead and suggest it, because it's genuinely enjoyable to see the chaos that Lestat is in the show. And season 3, like being full of it, it's going to be pretty interesting and fun too. So if you have watched the show, what do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm excited for season 3. Are you excited for it? If you haven't watched it, if you're holding off on it, like honestly, just watch it before season 3 comes out. You're gonna have a great time. Honestly, thank you so much for watching, and subscribe for more content. And if you got a if you got a recommend to look into, comments it down below. Stay safe and healthy, mentally, emotionally, and physically. See you guys next time. Later.